Greetings, Benjamin J. from Ben's Trains with another in the series. Well, what you're looking at is the new 400 that arrived today. It's been here about 2 hours now. I've disassembled it, cleaned it, lubed it, tuned it, straightened the push rods, oiled the motor, added a traction tire, and this locomotive is running like new. And it has almost no runtime at all. So it is virtually a new motor. And I've got it on the outside rail. I'm going to put this on the tin litho consist. There's 22 tin litho cars on here. And just adding that traction tire, one traction tire, made a really profound difference in what this locomotive can do. So let's take it around. Marx 400, $10 on eBay, pulling 22 tin litho cars at 40% power. Difficult to beat that. That's running absolutely perfectly. Just like new. And the E-unit is working. So like I said, the E-unit was just covered in oxide, and the actual mechanical actuator, the plunger, was stuck. It wasn't cycling at all. So, like I said, I just turned the motor upside down and put a light spritz of WD-40 up into that solenoid to lubricate that actuator. And as you see, this locomotive is running just absolutely perfectly. It's had almost no runtime at all. So it is virtually new. So I buy these just to get the motors out of them. And it's not that I dislike plastic locomotives. It's just that if you can upgrade from a plastic locomotive to a metal one without costing anything. Anyway, that's what I do. And so I buy these 400s just to get the motors out of them. And I've got probably 5 or 6 of these bodies, 400 bodies, 490 bodies. I've got a couple of 999 bodies. Anyway, just want to do a follow-up video on this. And it just reinforces everything I say. Don't overlook the junk. This thing has been here 2 hours and it's running absolutely perfectly. It was $10 on eBay and I was the only bidder. This still has the original headlight in it. And it didn't work because it was loose. And like I said, this thing had been setting for decades. This has been setting for probably 20, 30 years, maybe longer than that. And since it didn't have any runtime, it's probably been setting since the day it was received as a birthday gift or a Christmas gift. And that's usually what happens, is kids will run them for a day, a week, and usually it winds up back in the box and it becomes too much of a hassle to put the track together, and so it just remains in the box. This one smells just like Grandma's closet. That's exactly what it smells like. Potpourri in an old closet. Anyway, when it gets warm, you can actually smell the closet it's been sitting in for the last, who knows how long, 30 years, 40 years? Difficult to say, but for that much oxide to form on that copper, like I said, it hadn't turned to verdigris, but it was completely covered in oxide. I had to scrape it with a razor blade. And yet here it is, up and running, and I haven't done anything to it, basically, but lubricate it and clean it. So I've oiled the axles, straightened the push rods that were bent, cleaned the armature and the brushes, cleaned the brush springs, lubricated it, sprayed a bit of WD-40 up into that E-unit. Like I said, you hold the locomotive upside down and spray up into the solenoid, not down into the contacts. And all you want to do is lubricate that plunger, and that's what it was. That plunger was stuck. And I cycled it on the bench and watched it, and it wasn't moving at all. It was buzzing. Which means the coil was good, but the solenoid actuator itself was stuck. And that little bit of WD-40, bang, instantly broke loose. And now, of course, the more you use it, the better it'll work. And once all the oxide is gone, it's going to run just like new. And as you see, no hesitation, no buzzing. It has plenty of power. It's able to pull 22 tin litho cars at 40% power. So it was definitely worth the $10. You know, if you could only use it for parts, it was worth $10. So I just want to do a follow-up video on this. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email, benstrains@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.